Up, what's going on? What's happening with you? K Mega 405 is finally back in the year 2025. It's time to get to work. It is time, it is time, it is time. I knew I was supposed to do it yesterday, but got caught up hanging out with some friends and that I haven't seen in a very long time. And so I looked and lost track of time and whatever. But you're here. I'm gonna start putting the schedules out here in the description here within the week of when we're going to be doing my thought videos, which we'll be doing it from Tuesday for Friday, and then the streaming stuff that I'm going to be doing, especially like multiple times of me doing fight night throughout the week, and then just other stuff that I'm going to be streaming, getting to what I've been saying I was going to do with having a sports night, all that different type of stuff. So. Um, just trying to get that stuff all taken care of. I came home and then I was sick and from vacation, and so I've been down for the count for a little bit. But other than that, you know what I'm saying, feeling good now and ready to get to it. Man, it's been wild. That was just kind of this month has kind of been zipping by. But anyway, um, really not a lot to discuss. Just pretty much just want to just discuss like, just three things because I want to kind of spread this stuff out. I mean, I shouldn't say there's not a lot to discuss. There's plenty of things to discuss. But the one thing that I want to do, are you excited for the schedule? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Curie, I really do appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Really for support, for all the support, guys. I know because I've been so inconsistent last year. And for you guys, I mean, I've mentioned it a million times. So um I get you. Yeah, I know. It was sad for the GRG podcast to finally end. But again, this is giving me other opportunities to do something else. And like I said, I'm working on a new podcast that will come out sometime this year. I've just now getting started on a couple of things to I got the ideas and everything, but to get everything else rolling out with that's going to take a little bit more time. But I want to now focus on getting my thoughts rolling. And again, my thoughts doesn't have to be just me giving my thoughts. It's anybody can come in and give their point of view. That's the whole point of it. I just kind of didn't want to make it to where it is a set thing to where we have a group of people that and sometimes they're consistent or inconsistent. I just want to make it to where if you want to come in and want to discuss some stuff with me and to the rest of you guys in the chat, then that's what it's about. If not, then you'll hear me blabber, which I'll talk a lot. So it is what it is. But yeah, no, I mean, like I said, getting back to the streaming thing, stop being scared of and it's not so much being scared, it's just me thinking like, man, I really don't know why people would watch me play games the way that I do, especially like big games, like Indiana Jones or The Witcher or anything of that nature. But I'm gonna do it. I'm finna jump in there. I mean, I was having fun when I was showing off Black Myth. I'm finna go back and show some more of the Black Myth because I was going through my second playthrough through that. And then like just other things like Avowed, I think Avowed probably will be the first game that I'm just going to go straight into and then just enjoy. Now, this game here, um, this is a demo, and it's really cool. I can't wait for this game to come out. I actually forgot the name of it right now. I got to go back and I got to look for it. But I did post it on Twitter. I posted it on Blue Sky as well. I'm finna start doing so. If I start doing more stuff with on TikTok as well, if TikTok is still around. So anyway, other than that, man, let me just get into it, man. It's good to be back. It's good to feel better. The trip was fantastic. I'm telling you right now, I think honestly, um, having New Year's overseas or on a boat or just in a different location, that might be the way to go, man. That was so fun. It was really 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 cool, really really cool. So anyway, but let's get to it. Let's start off talking about the Xbox Prime. And so again, there's so many rumors that's going on about the Xbox Prime. I wanted to, because I was on Web Dave's podcast Sunday night, go check it out. I kind of want on this one and get you guys' thoughts as well. I kind of want to just talk about what I want out of the Xbox, the new Xbox console. this time going forward. I don't think that it's there's still too many things that's in the we know that there's going to be a handheld. We don't know if it's going to be compatible with the console or not. The rumor says that it will be. We don't know if there's going to be a dock station or anything like that. So when that type of information keeps leaking out, the more that we'll talk about that, we'll discuss. But I want to hear your thoughts as well as giving you my thoughts of what I'm expecting, what I want, I should say, not so much expecting, but what I want from Xbox Prime. Because there's two factors to this that I think a lot of people have missed. And I alluded to that on Web Dave's podcast the other night, on Sunday night, was basically it was saying that a lot of past Xbox content creators, they said they've almost doomed the Xbox from its what was Xbox being known for. It's some of some of the innovation that Xbox has brought to the gaming space that no other console ever is brought to the space. And there's so many people that forget about how innovative that the Xbox has been for the over 20 years that it's been out. Like, I mean, from the OG Xbox and from having a hard drive, from all the cool stuff that you could do within it, to the 360 was probably the most, if you would think about it from the standpoint, a radical console, to where nobody would ever predict that the stuff that you could do to a console can be done, to the Xbox One that had innovations that were stellar, but got killed because, like I said, and even some Xbox content creators and Xbox fans didn't look at the console as a console. And to me, what I want with Xbox Prime, I want them to get back to the roots. Not listen to us content creators when it comes to the bullshit, when it's saying, oh, I want a console only, because we got that with the Series X, right? We got that with the Series S and the Series X. It's a console. It still has its features, but it's more directly a console that people have been expecting and wanting. And lo and behold, it still isn't good enough from some people. Like, I think the Series X is a great console, but I think that Xbox needs to go back to the roots. I think the staff needs to go and look, and I'm glad that who they have on board to work on the next Xbox. But I think they just need to get back to it, because the one thing that I can't say, and that's what I'm saying, is twofold here. There's too many people that be frauding the public. They keep saying that, well, I want my console to be a console, but yet Sony was the first ones to introduce us to media and TV and entertainment, and making the console more than what we've ever seen before with the PlayStation 2. So in one breath, when you have people that will come and tell you, well, I just want my console to be a console. There was so much of that going on. There was so much of that rhetoric going on during the Xbox One generation. And it was something that kind of killed what was so good about the Xbox One, with the Snap feature, with Upload Studio, with the Kinect and all of that, right? And it kind of stunted the growth of their ideas of what they wanted to do moving forward with the Xbox One. And I know for a lot of times, it does feel like we're beating on a dead horse when it comes to the Xbox One, which was a great console, but it lost its steam once the fact that it lost its great features. See, when people sit there and tell those lies about, well, it was, and this is the thing that bothers me the most. What's going on with you, Big Bamo? What's going on, everybody? The thing that bothered me the most, and I argued with it before I even got on BGST, but then I argued it with the brothers on BGST and other places where I went to, was that we can never forget of why the 360 was so popular. It was the one console that everybody could get involved into, even more so than the Wii U. The Wii U was the ultimate family console, but in retrospect, it really was the 360, because it wasn't just a certain demographic that the 360 stuck to. It was one of the things to where, even when I was working late and I didn't have time to be, and I had to get ready to go to work early the next day, I went in the mood for gaming. I had to just I'm sitting here and I look and I come home, and then I see like my ex and her kids on my Xbox, and they weren't playing games. They were in there messing around with watching Netflix or They were just doing some other stuff. And if the games they were playing games that were interactive, like Dance Central and all that other stuff. See, the 360 was the ultimate console to me. That why I'd have this debate because I keep telling people that the PlayStation 1 is my favorite console of all time, but the more and more I keep thinking about the 360, it is slowly getting to the point to where maybe the 360 was the ultimate, my favorite console of all time. Because of the fact of it was the only console that I knew that brought people in that weren't gamers. Other than the PlayStation, of course, the PlayStation 2 was fantastic for that because they brought in a different deal with the DVD. Like that was a game changer. So that's what Xbox needs to get back to is to, keep the console, right? It's always been the console. Have that narrative of still being one of the most powerful consoles out there, unless there's a pro version that comes out or something of that nature. But also go back to the roots of what made Xbox fantastic and what had people to want to buy the Xbox. It isn't about making it powerful so games can look and perform the best. It's more than that. It always has been more than that. And gamers that sit here today that tell you differently, they're lying to you. Because every time that I see these same people that get out there and they wolf tickets about, well, the PlayStation is this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 they'll come out there and then they'll brag about how PlayStation in the games and everything like that. But then they'll come to Xbox and what they'll do? They'll watch movies. They'll be on Netflix. They'll watch YouTube. They'll be using Xbox to sit there and watch because they know that people, I don't be watching. It's just the thing that if I turn on my Xbox and I'm seeing and I see somebody, Mooch or others out there and I see them on media. So which one is it? Is it to where the Xbox should only just pertain to not worry about media and make it just a gaming hub, then that gives the advantage to PlayStation because PlayStation has never been that way after the PlayStation 1. So the PlayStation 2 is been about media. It's been the very first console to get you out there, to get people to integrate with the console outside of the gaming space. And when you look at when you look at things within with the PlayStation itself, and with the Xbox, especially with PlayStation, there's more people that uses the media than actually play games. And I don't think that should ever be a bad word. Sometimes I really do get concerned about some of us content creators and some of us gamers out here that when we're in this bubble, we kind of act like we can't, that evolution of anything is wrong or bad, or it takes away from your gaming experience. It doesn't. It never has. You know what I mean? So that's the thing to me is where I think Xbox should definitely, with Xbox Prime, which I think is a fantastic name. I don't want an Xbox SQ or I don't want a letter. Make it Prime or make it Xbox a number like the 720 or Xbox. I think that would resonate more because I think if you really think about it, like you have the original Xbox and then you had Xbox One. Well, then here comes the media talking about confusion and all this other stuff. And then when you had the Xbox One X and then you had the Xbox Series S and X, it's not confusing because we are those parents and grandparents now. People are around my age that are gamers, root gamers and stuff. But it is a thing to where if things are more catchy when you just have, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 6, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Switch 2. That's one thing I think why the Wii U didn't really succeed the way that it did because of the fact that it was still confusing. People still thought, well, it was a Wii U, but it's more expensive. I don't know anything about this. Like, the casual market, it's their kids that will tell them what it is if they're not into gaming. It's not so much that they'll do the research themselves. They just go for what their kids want, right? But for adults who like gaming, they'll pay attention, but they don't pay attention to that level or degree, right? They look at price and they look at what games is it that they might want to be interested in. And most likely, if that game is going to be Madden, college football, FIFA, or it's not FIFA no more, but FC and other games of that nature, Fortnite or whatever, that's all that matters to the casual market. To us, of course, we want more and different, we want to see what kind of games and in an era that where exclusives are going to die. Let's not get this twisted. PlayStation will still hold on, but that's another part of this discussion I'll get to later. But have the let's get back to the number or keep it Xbox Prime. I love that name. I love the first name that they had for the new Xbox. I forgot what it was called though. When they had with the code name. And I thought the code name was dope. But again, they called it the Series X. And I get that or whatever, but it's still in a sense, this isn't the 10th Xbox. It's just, whatever. So I just no letters. Just make it Xbox Prime or Xbox and give me a number. Give me the 720. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if you said Xbox 362, that would draw a lot of people, that would draw a lot of attention. I think that. I don't know, people in the chat, do you believe me or not? Do you think if they said, I prefer a number. I do. I said Xbox Prime or Xbox 720, Xbox 362 or some shit like that. I think that would be great. I think that would be great. I think it would be there. But I'm doing good today. I'm doing good today. How are you doing? Thank you for coming through. I really do appreciate you guys coming and checking out. I know it's been a minute, and I've been so inconsistent. I promise you now, I'm going to start being consistent. I sit there and I say I'm going to be, and I don't, and everything, and then I'm going to be on board now. It's time. The juices is flowing. The gaming juices is flowing. Pause, and I'm ready to get to it. So, or the content creating juices is flowing again. So, let me go ahead and read what Ocular had to say. He says, I'm gonna keep it a stack. The 360 and the PlayStation 3 era was the best console generation ever. Listen, I won't debate it. I won't debate it. Like the level of games I think are better today than they were then. I think a lot of people are stuck on nostalgia for some reason. But when you talk about the variety of what the PlayStation gave you, the variety of what Xbox at the 360 gave you is unmatched. I mean, the Xbox Series is doing a fantastic job of giving us content that we haven't even ever seen before on Xbox. And the variety is fantastic. I mean, we're just looking at the game lineup. Now, it was a slow grind. Started off okay for this generation, picked up for a hot minute, and then it went stale for a little bit because of the pandemic and things of that nature. But again, you know what I'm saying? This generation still doesn't have that same feel as the 360 or the PlayStation 3. And my God, the PlayStation 5 generation of this generation, game wise or variety, has been ass. And there's no reason for anybody to lie about it. It has been abysmal. If it hasn't been for the second and third, if it hasn't been for third party deals of that nature, what would PlayStation? I mean, PlayStation would really have nothing but remakes, and that's it. Like, I mean, they have some good quality games that came out this gen, but not that many. So, yeah, no, I would not argue with you about that. I would not argue about that. I mean, there were some people that would maybe go further back, talk about the PlayStation 1, Saturn, Nintendo, GameCube, and like you had the TurboGrafx 16, Panasonic, all that era, because there was so much variety there too. But again, not everybody could get their hands on all those consoles and all those exclusives that there were. And at the time, PlayStation was one of the most affordable consoles to buy. And and the PlayStation 1 had an incredible lineup of diverse games. And so also with the PlayStation 2 as well. I mean, but yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think we can argue about. I'm not going to argue with you about it. I don't know. People in the chat, please let me know, which era do you think has been so far to this day is the best generation of gaming between all consoles. The 360, the Wii. You got to include the Wii U too, because that kind of came in around the same time. During the life cycle of the PlayStation 3 and of the 360. Yeah, that's a solid, because there's some great games on the Wii U that a lot of people didn't get a chance to spend. I mean, especially fighters. Man, yeah, there was some great games, and the Wii had some really cool, fun games as well. Some classics. It was a little too kiddie for me, but still, the Wii U was felt more adult oriented to me than the Wii did. But again, we know how the Wii U did not sell worth a damn. So, Somebody said, "Hey," he says, dude, you don't play any games." I don't, man. Look at this. I don't even, you know, what I'm saying, this gameplay that you see back here, that's somebody else. That ain't me. Anyway, I know that's being funny, but yeah, no, I mean, but that's the thing for me is where I think gaming with what's coming from what Xbox is going to bring. PlayStation is probably going to hold off for a little while. I mean, if the rumors are true that they're going to come sometime in the 2030s with their console, then of course then the Pro is going to be their standard. Um, I I just I want them to bring back those things that we used to love on the 360 when they had the 1 versus 100. I know that Phil said that they're working on that again. That would be great. Um, I want the interaction to where when we were playing Uno or you playing dominoes or you was playing that, and that interaction was just different. You can still play those games online and stuff like that, but with the 360, it was just different. It hit so harder, man. Like, and I mean, and in the time when you got comfortable with people, and then you was using the Connect, and y'all could all play Uno or whatever. And there were people that would be doing some adult stuff sometimes in those games and things like that. But that's not the whole reason why I enjoyed it. It's just it was a different just level of interaction. And the one thing that Xbox has to bring back to me, for me to say that it is complete, is you have to bring in the thing of what they did with where everybody could watch a movie together and just interact. Like, I mean, just think about like if you had that feature now where you could go in and you could be streaming and there's this new movie. Okay, like for instance, or an old movie. Like I have it. I just recently watched Bullet Train probably about a month ago. I had no idea that movie was that good, right? But I'm over here streaming and watching it. And you can invite friends in to interact with you that, you know, I mean, of course, you might have that hater that'll tell you everything in the game and then you have to kill them. I mean, in a movie and you got to kick them out. But I'm just saying, everybody that's interacting together, that's the type of thing that made the 360 so special because it involved people who didn't give a damn about gaming to that degree, but they cared about the interaction. It made gamers more connected to casuals than I've ever had a console ever do. Even when I tried to mess around with the PlayStation Home and you went in there and that got a little weird and so I had to stop that. Plus, it was really shanky and it didn't really work really well. But it's just wild. But yeah, I just think that that's a more positive um vibe that you should get from the Xbox. And they said they're going to keep continuing making the Xboxes, right? And I'm going to take their word for it until they not. I still feel that consoles is going to go away with the record at some point or the CD. And when I say that, it's not like it's going to fully go away. It's going to be one of those things where it's just not as popular as we could see. Like right now, like I was just reading something um before I got on here, where they were saying that in Europe, the Switch, the PlayStation is down 20%. Xbox is down like 48%. The Switch is down 15%. Like again, you also have these gamers that they already got their console, so they're not going to buy another one. You got the casual market that is looking at prices and prices aren't going down, or they just wait for a sale or something of that nature. Also have a different degree of gamer out there in that area where they care more about PC than they do about the console. Like I mean, it's just the reality, and of course about mobile. Mobile is it's the biggest gaming market there is, and I don't know why people don't really acknowledge that. And it just makes more sense to where when you have an idea for what Xbox is doing, it just makes more sense. And it has not failed. PlayStation has followed suit. They just take longer. Nintendo is the only one that's going to hold out the most because they can. But then but I think that they're also going to have to, well, not have to, but they're going to start putting games on PC. Not all of their games, but they're going to be putting some certain games out there. They might not ever put a Mario, but they could put a Splatoon. They could put a Mario Kart. they might do more of the multiplayer games to maybe that they can be they have crossplay between. I'm looking forward to finding out what the Switch 2 is going to do as well. But when you can have more crossplay, I mean, because that to me is what gives games more longevity. If you don't have a game that doesn't have crossplay, it is almost you're hurting yourself. And so I think that when every game that any developer that's in production, especially if a game that's got multiplayer, if you're trying to still find the greedy way of trying to rip money from consumers by saying, well, I want them to be on this port. I want it. And I understand the budget, but you got to put that in your budget. Crossplay is something that should be here to stay and should never go away again, because it makes more sense for when gamers can go and they can play games. They can just buy one copy on their preferred platform, and then it's good. You know what I mean? So, and then that gamer can participate more into battle passes and all that other extra stuff that these companies now want to come and take from you. So it just, to me, and I think that's important. But Xbox needs to bring back a lot of those features from the 360. What are some of the features that you guys would want Xbox to bring back? Let me know in the chat as well. I think, like I said, the snap feature, I would love that to come back. I would love listen, I don't know how y'all feel about this, but I would love for them to make another Connect or something like that. Like maybe use what the handheld is as some kind of form of something that maybe it can have a camera, or add like a camera system or something like that. Like it doesn't really maybe have to be the Connect itself, like a big peripheral, but something like a camera that has some kind of technology that maybe you can get back those type of games like Dance Central and stuff like that. I think that those things are so valuable for I feel for today's family to become, because listen, you got your kids to sit here today that just want to play nothing but be on their phone or be on their tablet, or maybe play on a console on every once in a while, maybe just want to play some COD or something like that. It's nothing like when, and I seen it during Christmas. I seen it during Christmas. I mean, so the family came through, and I introduced him to Lips, right? And game down sites, he was crazy. He's like, you in the game Lips, bro. I tell you, Lips is one of the best icebreaker games I think of all time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it brings in old, young, shy. It doesn't matter. Like that game is something about games like Lips that just, and Dance Central, I mean, I'm sure singing. I've never really played a singing or whatever, but I'm sure that those type of games have that type of vibe that brings people in. And I think that that's where Xbox needs to come back to. I just do. I just think that be the powerful console that you are, but have something to where you can bring back the people. Bring back people. Like sometimes the kids can put the phone down and they can jump in and play stuff. It's crazy because even for my grown ass kids today, they still like Lips. They still talk about Dance Central. They still talk about all those. They still talk about 1 versus 100. They still talk about those old games that they used to play together as a group and still want to do it. And so like I was saying, like with Christmas, I was expecting to maybe do a song or two. Man, we played that game the rest of the night until everybody decided to leave until like at like 8, like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Like, so it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. It was really cool too. So I think that really when you look at things like that, Xbox has to get back to those type of roots of innovation, to in inclusion, to where kids can get to, I'm saying, family could just jump in and like, man, I'm not interested in wanting to jump in and play this game because I don't really care. Like for instance, my wife, she may want to play Mortal Kombat every blue moon or whatever, but then she don't want to play it with me because she wants to get the controls down. It's weird, but I get it because, and then there's some people that don't even care about video games, but they love the aspect of what the console brings. And especially now since DVDs and Blu-rays are now being, are phasing out. I think that this was the last production of them. So if you're looking to want to get some, you better get to it now. And they're not expensive at all. So it's really cool. So it's So yeah, I just think that that's where they need to go to. I mean, of course, you hear the rumors that they're going to be having like the power aspect of a 50 of a 50 series card. If they do that, then expect that console to be 800 plus. Because I mean, it won't be a 48, a 5080 or a 5090. So it'd have to be the lowest tier, which is probably close to a 5070. If that's the case, well, it was just they're using AMD, that will be whatever AMD's high class line is called. And but again, this is where we at. We're not going to ever see a console. The era of the console that's so maybe from a Nintendo hearing the rumor that it'd be $400, and if it's $400, then it will be 1440p to 4K up-res type of console or hybrid or whatever people want to call the Switch. It won't be true 4K. You won't have games that can probably push 8K and things of that nature. But if it's $400, that's going to be very agreeable. Xbox, PlayStation, what they're going to be bringing, you will never see $400. You will never see $400 again. So, I mean, PlayStation already kind of set the market. So Xbox is going to, if Xbox is going to, and they have to come with a more powerful console, of course, that's going to outdo the Pro and put the Pro to shame, the PlayStation 5 Pro to shame. So again, here we're looking at something, and if they're talking about at the level of a 50, 70 or something of that nature, then it's going to be 800 plus. There's no question. There's no doubt about it. Now, will Xbox have another iteration of like the S? I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people that wouldn't want them to because of some of the setbacks that happens. Who knows? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if I mean, for the fact of wanting to get gamers involved, but I think the handheld will probably alleviate that more. And then if you got the handheld, and if people want the Xbox handheld more than the console itself, then I think the pricing for that will be more acceptable than having an S version or another like little man version of the Xbox. I think the Xbox should just be standalone, and then maybe Xbox can want to bring a Pro version itself at a later iteration to try to catch up to maybe what the PlayStation 6 is going to do, because at that time that gives PlayStation plenty of time to make their console and be on the same wavelength or be more powerful or whatever, if they're not going to bring their console and their PlayStation 6 until the 2030s. But we'll see. I mean, PlayStation is a whole nother discussion. This is just about the Xbox Prime. I think Xbox, that's what I want from Xbox. For me, I mean, I want Xbox to make the right decisions for themselves, make the console that they feel that's the best. Because when they went the route that the content creators that was over here touting them and saying that no, less TV, when you look all around, there's TV, movies, and everything else, and features everywhere. And Xbox is over here looking like, hold up, I thought this is what you wanted, was just a console without all the hoopla. No, gamers like hoopla. We see it, we've seen it, we've dealt with it. So we want as much of the features and all of the wild extra stuff with media, just like we did with the 360, just like we did with the PlayStation 3, just like we did with the PlayStation 2, just like we did with the Xbox One for the first half of the generation. No need to set back. I mean, hell, there's Snap feature on the PlayStation 5. So, and you don't hear anybody bitching and complaining about that. I mean, there's more movies out there being talked about than there is games, for first party games being shown. I mean, this is just what it is. We as gamers also consume media. I don't, like I said, I don't like people wolfing tickets off there trying to fraud the public by telling people that media is not a part of gaming, because it is. And we got and we have to be honest about that. It's just the truth. So let me see what Ocular Fan, he says next year, K-Mega, Xbox is going to put the Pro to shame. The Series S was definitely a mistake. No, there's no question. The Pro is going to get dusted. The PlayStation Pro is going to be dusted. I mean, it's not that impressive as it is. The one thing about the PlayStation Pro that's impressive is its potential of the PSSR. That's it. And I mean, and that's in its infancy. So I mean, it's still got a lot of growth to do. So I mean, that's the benefit right there. So again, a PlayStation 5 Pro might be much more affordable and worth getting here in the next, I would say, 3 to 4 years, 2 to 3 years. But for right now, no, it's not. It's not worth. It's not the price of ignition. Admission. I think that honestly, if a person wants to go that route, now, unless you're a diehard PlayStation fan, then of course, do what you got to do, spend your money. That's your first. That's your first love. So of course, but for anybody else that's just looking at the PlayStation as a side piece, like I do, it just upgrade your PC. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, still my PC it dog walks what the PlayStation Pro does. So I'm not even. So it wasn't even in the equation. And I will upgrade again, but this time I'm upgrading for. I'm not going to upgrade for a very long time because I'm going to sit here. I'm like, okay, I see the new technology and stuff like that. I want to see what's it about. And then after that, I'm going to just kind of chill on it. So like and wait until there's a 7 series or something like that that comes through. There's no need for me to get every 3 to 4 years upgrade like a console because PC parts are they last better. Um and in the sense of like, for your gaming performance and things like that. So there's really no reason for me to sit here and once I move to the 5 series or whatever, now since I kind of understand what's going on after playing PC games as much as I have been the last year, yeah, I want to upgrade this last time for a very long time, and then we'll see what happens when they have a 7 series or whatever. At this point, hell, I'll be maybe too old to even care. so, so I just what I'm saying. So upgrade the TV, upgrade to the 50 series, and then keep it pushing. But I think that honestly, if anybody that's looking at alternative, that's why I say Xbox and PC is the perfect combination. I understand that people say PlayStation and PC, which is fine, but if you're a person that can wait for a PlayStation game, I don't see, especially if you have a deep library of games on Xbox, it just makes perfect sense. Especially another feature that I want to bring up, which I've always touted this feature more so than the one feature that a lot of people like, which is I forget what that feature is. It's when you turn the game on. Help me out, chat. When you turn the game on and the game comes automatically on to the game that you was last playing, I think that's a great feature. But if I'm playing a lot of online games, you always got to reset anyway. When you play single player games, it's absolutely fantastic. But the best feature for me from Xbox this generation is Play Anywhere. It's not even close. It's not even close. It's not funny. Okay, so hold on. Let me because I already know what Fahim is saying. You do realize the PSSR will evolve. I just said that. You know what I'm saying? I did say that it would evolve, but for right now, it's not worth the price of admission. Like in another 2 years, yeah, it'll be. I think it might be at that time be better. I say 2 to 3 years, but at this point, PlayStation is going to be starting to now. You're starting to start hearing more and more rumors of PlayStation going to be, announcing what they're going to be bringing on their new hardware. That's why I thought that the PlayStation Pro was really kind of weird. But if they had the console just for the fact of wanting to kind of be on the same level of the Series X and then having their PSSR as their feature thing or whatever, that's fine because it needs to grow and it needs to evolve in order for it to be to even try to get into the realm to compete with AMD and with what DLSS is doing. So I mean, I get it. I just consumer part, I just don't see it. So yeah, it's not worth it right now. What's going on with you, Far Cube? Thank you so much for the pictures, man. That was really dope. That was really dope. I sit there and I had to use the one as my profile picture on Twitter X. But yeah, I'm gonna start posting a lot more of those pictures out there, man. But that was really dope, man. I really do appreciate it. Let me show you some. Let me show some more gameplay right here. I'm over here just kind of lingering around, letting that just go. Anyway, that game is really dope. I hope people will. You know what? I'm gonna let you guys watch me get cooked in Battlefield Hardline. Let's just go ahead and show that game. Oh yeah, I really got cooked in here. Well, see, and this is the thing, like what I see. This is the thing that I love and hate, right? And I even thought about even wanting to rent the servers again, because I forget how much I love Hardline. This was one of the ugliest online games you ever want to see when it comes to anything coming from EA's well, especially from EA and how and what they do with their multiplayer games, and especially with a Battlefield title. It is one of the ugliest games you ever want to see, but it is one of the most fun. It has the maps are so incredible. But anyway, I found me a server, but it's in Germany. So the ping is ass. I was in one match and I was shooting this guy. I shot him like 4 times. I was like, okay, maybe a sniper. I had to shoot this dude 4 times just to kill him. So yeah, you'll see me get cooked in here, but I have so much fun. And there's sometimes that the ping will work for me and then I can get down and I can get some kills. But yeah, I just so fun. So fun. I really do love it. Yeah, I said Battlefield Hardline, sucker. The Battlefield Hardline is fantastic, man. It is a great, great. See, this is, and somebody said this yesterday, and I when I posted some gameplay of it and they said this should have been a standalone. This should have been called Battlefield. This should have been called something else. And I agree with that because it does have a Battlefield kind of vibe to it, of course, but it's not Battlefield. You know what I mean? Like it's something. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's a Battlefield esque, but it could have been its own type of game, kind of like with Titanfall, right? Like Titanfall isn't COD. Even though this Titanfall 2 felt like COD, it still wasn't COD. So yeah, Battlefield Hardline should have been maybe just called Hardline or something like that, and I think the game would have got a better reception than what it did. But it has one of the best map selections, I think, in oof ever. We're talking about like on levels of classic Halo maps, on the levels of Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. Hardline, when you got all the maps, can play on all the maps. They have some of the best map design. It is nuts. And of course, they got that Levolution stuff on here. Not as extreme as Battlefield 4, or Battlefield 3. But it can get pretty intense. So it's pretty dope. So yeah, you'll watch me get cooked on that. This is great. This is great. Yeah, he says, when I play with US players, my ping is usually between 80 and 130. See, that's not good. I mean, the 80 is not that bad, right? But so far, that makes it sound like that you may be from playing from overseas or something like that. But man, I was playing on these Germany servers from these people that rent them out, and I'm like at 190. There was one time that I was at like 200, and I was just like, man. And of course, it'll be that time when I get frustrated, and I'm like, ah, damn. I'm tired of getting cooked and getting like 6 kills and 19 deaths or something like that or whatever. But the game is so fun to me. I kind of just overlook it. I'm like, I don't care. This is the PC version anyway. So yeah, but I'm thinking about wanting to rent the service on the console version and starting that up. But if anybody's interested, please let me know because I will do that. I will do that for about 6 months to see how many people will want to join, and we can just have some Battlefield stuff just going on. And if people want to continue to support and come through, yeah, I think it's cool because I think, oh man, the classic should never go away. And to me, Battlefield Hardline is a classic. Look at this. I got you. Oh, see, I thought I had, dude. I was about to get him, and dude put the knife in my belly. God damn, son of a gun. Yeah, you in the UK. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, but yeah, play anywhere though. Back to Xbox and what with Xbox Prime. Play anywhere. Play anywhere is essential. It's essential to Xbox growth. I think that is the best feature that Xbox has. I like the feature where you can go and you can change the game and come in and do all that. I love that too. Like I hope that they can bring that back. But I play anywhere is is man. I can't tell you every time that I see a play anywhere game. 9 times out of 10, I'm buying it because it's so customer friendly to buy a game. And that's, you know what I'm saying? And now, and especially like a Valve, right? And Indiana Jones. Like I like to look at the comparisons. I did it with Hellblade too, and then it made me appreciate. And when I'm playing it on something on hardware that's so much more powerful than what the Series X is. And then, but you look at look at the skill level of what they've done with the Series X. When you look at a Hellblade, when you look at a Indiana Jones, it makes you, for me, now I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it makes me appreciate my Series X even more because I'm like, damn, yeah, it ain't gonna hit the frames the same. It's locked at 30. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a frame person when it comes to story games and stuff like that. Um, but when you look at those games and visually how they perform and things like that, man, it just makes me appreciate the Series X more. So Play Anywhere is great. I love that they work out things. And one thing that when I get to talking about the secret game from Xbox Direct, um, if one of those games are a Square Enix game, Square Enix is been pretty friendly on putting their games on Play Anywhere as well. So if that's the case, that would be a win because most likely that would be Forspoken, which I've touted how good Forspoken was. You just got to get through the cringy first part of it when she's in New York, and then when she first kind of jumps in that new world, she's real cringy. But if you get past that and get to that combat, I'm telling you, the game is solid. If it's Forspoken, that's good. If it's Final Fantasy 16, cool. Final Fantasy 7 remake. And if those games can be played anywhere, that is an absolute win. I mean, an absolute win. So we'll see on that. But I think that's one of the things. If any feature that has to come with the Xbox, it has to be Play Anywhere. Play Anywhere is too essential. It's too valuable. I think it's fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let's see what my girl Curie said. She said, "Oh, I didn't know you were from the UK. Oh, you learned something." Yeah. I didn't know that Fark was from UK either. So you know what I'm saying. So yeah, that was cool stuff though. Let me see what Oculus said. He said, "I'm not a frame person in general. I have a VVR. I'm more of a resolution person, and that's to me. I think that's more of what console gamers are. You know, I mean, at heart, I'm a console gamer. I play on PC a lot more now than I've ever have. But when you looked at my stats that I posted, I was on console what 80% of the time. So yeah, and I mean, and if you looked at my Steam, I was on Steam quite a bit. I mean, I went through quite a few games on PC. So I just think that Play Anywhere is really viable. I think that PlayStation should do that. I know that PlayStation probably won't anytime soon. I would love for Nintendo to do that. We damn sure know that Nintendo is not going to do that. So it is what it is on that aspect. But yeah, Sir X Man, what's happening with you, brother? He said I would love to be for a new DOA. Oh yeah, well, the new DOA is coming. That's all. I was going to sit there and talk about that when I do Fight Night tomorrow night. I was going to talk about that there's a new DOA coming. On top of what Virtual Fighter looked like. Virtual Fighter looked absolutely outstanding. Like, good God. Like, and I know that wasn't the actual gameplay, but that's what they're working on, and that's what they're working for, trying to achieve. And if you look at the movements of how that promo was shown on Virtual Fighter, and you play Virtual Fighter 5, or it is, or is it? Yeah, Virtual Fighter 5, I think. If you play the old Virtual Fighter, let me just say it like that. The move sets move like that. It's just an older engine. So it ain't going to be too far off from what you see, especially how the flowing of blocking, moving, and things like that. Tekken gonna have to watch out, man. But this is great. I love the competition. I'm glad that the grandpa is back and saying, listen, you know what? I ain't going nowhere. And before you was the king of the fighters, I was the king of the 3D. I was king of all fighters at the time, so 3D fighters. So I love that competition, and then hopefully that maybe Bandai Namco can really come back and think about wanting to redo Soul Calibur and other 3D, and there's so many other 3D fighters that could come back out, and so DOA is going to be one of them. So yeah, no, they're working on it. They're working on it now. I got that information about like 2 months ago. And then I went back and I seen something else about it that they were still in production, but they didn't know where at in the production. But yeah, so they're working on it. So and I think it's going to be like a remake. So I think they're kind of like they're going to maybe start it over in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. I mean, the storyline for Dead or Alive is absolutely ass, but the game is fantastic. So anyway, yeah, but play anywhere for Xbox is definitely essential. So yeah, Xbox Prime it needs all these features in my opinion to try to revamp what you got from the 360, from the Xbox One, and from the Series X. Combine this into an ultimate media gaming hub. Hell with the crybabies that sit there and say, I want, no TV, TV, TV. No, I don't want to hear it. I want TV, TV, TV. I want gaming, gaming, gaming. I want interaction, interaction, interaction. I want it all. I want everything that you can. But again, let Xbox cook and see what they do and see how they present it. I do feel comfortable that we'll get some things that some of us has been asking for from the past. I do feel that Xbox will reward us with that. I just don't know if it's going to be at the multitude of what I want or what maybe some of us would want. So again, that's good. It's cool. Um, yeah, a new Soul Calibur would definitely be nice. Yeah, hey, Tekken 8 is greatness. That's why I like tomorrow night. I'm going to be finally jumping back on playing Tekken. I ain't played Tekken in 2 months, so I'm on my quest for Tekken God. So um, the matches definitely started getting harder and harder, but you know what? That's the whole point of doing the stream. That's what the thing for Fight Night, and then Fight Night Sundays, I will be playing a lot of newer games or different games, kind of introducing games that might be not familiar for a lot of people and stuff like that. But Fight Night Thursday, Fight Night, and then if I do a Fight Night during the weekend, like on Saturday or a Friday night or something like that, it's going to be usually probably Street Fighter, Tekken, stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, I'm here now. I'm back. I've been when I came back when I touched down. I said, man, I promised my listeners that I'm gonna come back full throttle. So that's what I'm gonna do. So you'll be seeing a lot of this big ass head on this screen. So and I hope you guys will stick around with me. So support. What did you say? What did he say? He says you heard it. You heard it here first. K Mega wants TVT. You damn. Man, listen, okay? So you didn't hear what I said earlier. Before you didn't hear what I said. I said, listen, you can't be one of these players, one of these content creators or gamers in the gaming space, in the gaming bubble, sitting here talking about I don't want TV, TV, TV. I don't want movies, movies, movies. But then yet I'm always seeing people online on the Xbox, or if I'm on PlayStation, or if I'm on PC, or something of that nature, and I see well, maybe not so much on PC, but when I'm definitely looking at on consoles, there's somebody is always on, and it's usually content creators that's on watching TV. it never fails. I can get on Xbox right now, and there'll be people that's on Netflix. They're on Disney. They're on YouTube. They're on something else. And again, it doesn't mean that they're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, why is that bad? PlayStation was the first one to introduce it to us with the DVD player in the PlayStation 2. Come on now. Why Xbox can't get back to those roots of what it's really all about? Because most casual gamers buy the console for the entertainment aspect of it, not so much for the games all the time. And gamers, we all watch some form of TV, some forms of movies, some forms of some kind of media entertainment. So why is it bad? So you did hear it from me. I want TV, TV, TV. I want games, games, games. I know the games are going to be coming. They're coming now. So now let's get back to what it is. What I'm saying? What the 360 was so damn dope about was the apps and all those other features that included so many people involved. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm with it. I want it. You just thought, I know you thought it was funny, but saying, yeah, you heard it from me though. I want it, man. Anyway, see, look, see, I said I only killed three people, and you see me that I killed like about 5 or 6. That's what I'm talking about. That ping, I'll be getting cooked, but that's okay. I'll just live through it. It ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? I'm just having a good time. And I wasn't at last place. I'm never at last place. So thank God. But my rating over here playing has been awful. I think I had one where I was in second place. I had one or two matches where I was in second place, but it is whatever. Let's keep it pushing. All right, let's talk about Xbox Direct, the secret game. Okay, so there was another thing that I seen today where, and it may have came out yesterday, but I seen it today where they were talking about that it is potential that there could be a potential, and I don't believe it whatsoever. I would love it if I would see it, but I just don't feel that this game is should be announced at the Xbox Direct. Because if you want to announce this type of game, that game should be announced at an Xbox event in June, not or at Tokyo Game Show. Not during the Xbox Direct. And that game is Ninja Gaiden. There's people that saying they're speculating that it's going to be Ninja Gaiden, and I'm like that's a bunch of BS for me. See, now, Sir X-Man, this is the thing, and this is why I talk about crossplay right here, right? So see, this is why I'm talking about crossplay. My rating on Xbox and PlayStation for Battlefield is like 100 and something, right? It's like 90s or 100 and something. I know one of them. I can't remember if it was on PlayStation or if it was on Xbox, where I'm like 105, 110 or something like that. Well, you don't have Play Anywhere, or you don't have it, so I had to, and I didn't really play on the PC version of Battlefield Hardline, so I'm starting over pretty much. So I think I'm like a level 10 or some crazy stuff like that or whatever. Oh, I got cooked on this match. So if y'all want to see me take these L's, you go ahead and enjoy this ass beating I got on this level. But I did kill somebody with a bat. That was pretty fun. Anyway, but again, Ninja Gaiden is still, it may not be as big as as a Last of Us or Intergalactic, something like that, but it's still a very known commodity. It's still a very good known game. So to me, I think that, and that's not disrespecting the Xbox Direct. I just feel that that's an E3 moment to me. I mean, because Ninja Gaiden is a fantastic title. Like, I mean, it's a good old school title, and if they did show it, like, I'm like, okay, cool. Now, if they show Ninja Gaiden, and let's just say it's shell shaded, and it's a lower budget Ninja Gaiden, I got you. Okay, all right. Like if it's kind of like the Kaiba, if you have not played the Kaiba game, the Ninja Gaiden Kaiba. Bro, that game is fun as hell. It's so dope. The camera angles will get you frustrated, but that game is really, really dope. So if it's cell shaded, but I'm not saying that it's not going to be a good game. I mean, there was people that, and even me, I sit there and looked and I'm like, oh, okay, this game here that they're showing, it looks pretty good, but I don't know. And then come to find out I loved it, and I was saying I was claiming to be game of the year. So, and then Xbox had to shut down the studio, or will send the studio to they had to send Tango Games somewhere else. But anyway, so again, if it's a Ninja Gaiden, that would be great. I just don't see that as Ninja Gaiden. I really don't see Final Fantasy either. I don't. I see maybe like I said, I see more like Forspoken. It's been that 2-year mark. Remember, I think that how Xbox is going to get when they get the Final Fantasy games, I think that's going to be when uh, Rebirth has got, I think another year from now, something like that. And I think that there's another one that's going to be coming too. So after that, I think that Xbox won't get the Final Fantasy Rebirth and 7 until close to the end, or probably when right after when the PC version of the third Final Fantasy game comes out. If there's a third, I think there's a third one. I don't know. I haven't played Rebirth yet. I'm going to get it when it drops here. I think this coming up week, or here at the end of the month. I'm gonna cop it. So for the PC version. So yeah, but I just don't see it being Rebirth. It would be great. I just don't see it. I see Black Myth Wukong being that game. I see Black Myth. The reason why is because I think that that's a perfect game to announce. Everybody knows that that game is going to be coming to Xbox, but it who knows, right? Like I just don't think that it will be on I just don't see it. I just don't see that the Final Fantasy games is going to be releasing. If it's Forspoken, yes. And I don't think there's going to be Final Fantasy 16. Now it could be a wombo combo, as Don used to say, where it could be Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken. I think that would be great. And I do think that those games will be play anywhere for Xbox. So that could be that, but I don't see Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I just don't see that yet. And I don't see the Ninja Gaiden. I've seen some people that was bringing up, I don't know, all different types of games. It's not. It ain't going to be that. It ain't going to be those games either. Now it could be a collection of the Call of Duty games. That could be one of the announcements. I think there'll be one of those things to where it'd be a game like Black Myth, Wukong, and then like maybe talk about the Activision COD collection that's going to be in Game Pass or something like that. Like, that could be something of that nature. I just don't see no Final Fantasy or anything like that. I just don't. Yeah, I'm hearing that's going to be a brand new IP, but man, I just don't know, man. I really don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, no, we can drink. I mean, I would want to see Phantom Dust. I would like to see the recreation of Phantom Dust. I still have never gotten over them showing Phantom Dust at that E3 and it's gone. Like, I mean, I still hold hope. So, but yeah, no, it ain't gonna be no Phantom Dust either. So that's cooked. I would love for them to do Phantom Dust, but yeah, now if it is a new IP, that would be great. I mean, and then that would I think that if it would be a new IP or if it would be let's say a Ninja Gaiden or something like that, then that would re-solidify another great Xbox event going forward. Because then at that point, what you're telling me is that, okay, hell, Xbox is cooking so much is that they're bringing stuff in January, letting us know that there's stuff coming in January, and then we got June, where June is Christmas, is gaming Christmas, and then you're going to have Tokyo's game show, and then you got the VGAs, and so I mean, like, come on now, like that would be great, and then it also Gamescom. So I just don't know, man. I'm not feeling those rumors on that. I really just don't. I just don't see that being that. I don't see that being that game, man. I really don't, honestly. Let me sit there and change this over. Let me see if there was reading some more stuff on that. Some more rumors on that. There was some other games that just didn't make any sense to me. Like there was supposed to be like the remake of Oblivion. I think that would be good. But then again, see, that to me is one of the. Well, I know that it'll come out later than Avowed, right? But then, will people still talk about Avowed the same like they're talking about it now if they was to show Oblivion remaster or remake? You see what I'm saying? So like, I think that like Oblivion remake should be something that would be shown at E3 or something like that, something of that nature. Not so much of the direct when you're going to be talking about Avowed, and Avowed is one of the new approaching IPs right there that's getting a lot of really promising reviews from the people who said that they played it and stuff like that. I mean, of course, we did hear that before. We heard that Redfall was really great, and then that didn't work out so much. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Avowed. I'm looking forward to and see, now this is another thing to me. Now I'm a Halo guy, so I've never really been. I've bought Doom, I played Doom, but I've never beaten. I played maybe what 2 hours, 3 hours of the last Doom game, And yeah, this looks good, but I'm gonna have to start catching up on my Doom because I don't know what it is. It's not like I don't like the Doom games. I don't know, man. It just don't resonate with me like some people it does. I don't know. Like I don't know. It just I don't know. I don't know. So I'm gonna play because when I played it, I was having fun. I just was like, okay, I'm through with this. I'll come back to it later, and then I'm never gone back. So I don't know. But if I'm gonna play this other Doom game, which looks pretty cool, so I'm gonna have to knock these other Doom games out. So Sir X Man said, what did Fahim say first before sex? He said, the vampire game sounds cool to K Mega. Did you see? Oh my God, bro. I was going to talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, no, bro. Well, I was going to talk about, yeah, I was going to talk about it tomorrow. I was going to talk about Friday. Um, yeah, no. Oh my God, that looked fantastic. It did. It had all the Witcher vibes, but it's made from a group of developers that's from CD Projekt Red. Um, I don't know if they're formally or if they just kind of stepped away for a little while to make their own thing, to start their own franchise, and then they're all going back for Witcher 4. That part I don't know, but I know that they are they're developers from CD Projekt Red, and they're working. That trailer looks sick, and then the music, the whole it had all the Witcher vibes, and I'm stoked for it, bro. Like you know me, and they just had a cool premise. Yeah, it had like a Shadow of Mordor, Witcher type of vibe to it. So yeah, I'm all in on that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Let me go back to but I'll talk about that more tomorrow. Sir X-Man said he said that would blow my mind if it was a brand new Project Gotham race. Bro, I don't see a Project Gotham ever coming back. I think that they might have a Forza Project Gotham edition, like you know, like add that as a add on. But I just don't see Project Gotham coming back on its own. That's just me. I think because Forza is just so big. So especially Forza Horizon is such a big, such a huge franchise now. I no man, I just don't see that they would have room for any more when they're still trying to make sure that motorsport gets its love. I just think that what you would do with that if you wanted to, if you know, is to make a Project Gotham edition added to that. But we're not going to see Forza for a while. So Forza's we ain't going to see a Forza for I think another 2-3 years. I honestly think that. I think they're going to let Motorsport continue to cook, to continue to build, and Fable is on the way. If it doesn't come out this year, it's coming out definitely next year. So you know, and then there's going to be DLC. There's going to be other stuff. We ain't going to see another Forza no time soon. I give it 2-3 years minimum. And I don't think that we need a Forza Horizon 6 at this point. I think we can wait on that. I think we really can. I think we're due for now. Again, I also heard too, which was crazy, and which I don't believe that's the direct is not. It's not meant for. It's like I said. It's not E3 esque. So so if you hearing Halo remake or whatever, nah, bro, that's E3. That's June or whatever that you call, yeah, I'll just call it gaming Christmas now since E3 ain't around no more. But yeah, no, it's not that. So, but yeah, the Vampire game did look fantastic. It looked really good. But yeah, I just don't think it's that. I don't. I think it's Wukong. I would love it to be Wukong for so many Xbox gamers who have not got a chance to experience that game. I'm telling you, bro, that game that was my game of the year, hands down. There was nothing that was touching that game. It's challenging, but it's rewarding at the same time. It didn't like that's the difference between a Dark Souls game and Wukong because it's just not slow. He's quick. You got abilities. You got all different types of strategies to try to win. It just really fun. And it has some of the best boss battles that you ever want to see in a game. It's a fantastic game. So I hope it is Black Myth. And if it's anything else that's in between that we've sit there and we heard, that would be great too. I mean, I'm not gonna scoff at if it is Final Fantasy VII remake. I think that that's going to be about damn time. Let's go. Square Enix understand that they need all hands on deck to save them. So yeah, that would be great. I'm not gonna I'll cop it. I'll buy it again just for that reason, so I can get the achievements. But no, I just I don't think it's ready for that yet, in my opinion. And I damn sure don't think it's no Ninja Gaiden. But if it is a new IP and it is Ninja Gaiden, then I'll definitely be here to eat crow and be ecstatic because I'm like, okay, here we go. We're good. Um, yeah. So yeah, I can't wait for Xbox gamers to really actually enjoy Black Myth Wukong. Oh yeah, what was that level? When the ice era, where you had to when you was on the lake, um, fighting that water dragon or whatever. Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. But no, the boss that had me. Well, there was a couple of moments that had me standing up, but there one boss, and he wasn't even a main boss. It was a big ass beetle that you had to fight. Like it was a secret mission. It was like a secret, not secret. It was like there's a lot of secrets in the game. So I went up there and I was like, okay, I seen this. I fought the tiger dude, the old tiger guy, and then you go talk to the one dude, and then you sit there and he's like, yeah, you gotta. And I was like, holy what, bro? Do you find this big huge ass beetle coming out the ground and yeah, that was epic. Then I liked, and I don't want to spoil too much for people who haven't got a chance to play it yet, but there's a level, an insect level with spiders and scorpions and bruh, that level was crazy. But that man, the boss battles in there was epic. Oh my god, yeah. So no. There was so many epic moments in that game in Black Myth. And they're going to be working on DLC. Yeah, no, that's that game. Black Myth to me is up there with the Witchers, with the Mass Effects, things like that. Um, that's how good. That's how much I enjoyed that game. It's that good. It's that good to me. So it might not be for everybody, but it's damn sure that good for me. Um, you said the guy that was part snake. Okay, who was that? Who was that? The guy that was part snake. Oh yeah, that was like on the first level, further through the first level. Yeah. Yeah, no, he kicked my ass a bunch. And then that's when I knew it was like, hold on, wait a minute. I gotta figure it out. Now, again, once I figured it out, you felt like I said, that's how the rewarding thing about it that felt so good is because you go in and you're playing and it's tough and you get frustrated a little bit, but then like when you beat them and then like when you go through and you like, okay, and then when you're more powerful, like especially you can always go back and build yourself up to be more powerful. And that was the one thing about it that I really enjoyed was that, okay, I got these extra powers. Now I'm finna come up here and I'm finna do some stuff. Um, yeah, the water, that water demon dude, yeah, in the white. He was cold. But now I'm gonna tell you who was cold. Right after that, after you got from there was a secret area right there where you had to fight one of those big headed Buddha things or whatever. But when you went to that other boss to get there to get into that last level to fight that big ass black bear, there was this monk. That monk was cold blooded, Jack. I love just fighting him. He was just so cool. I beat him, I think, like the third time I played him, but he was so fun to play. Oh, that monk was so dope because he did that palm thing. Then he would. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let me stop talking about Wukong, man. That's crazy. It is a great feeling of accomplishment in that game. Like I said, when I beat Li Fang, I felt accomplished because Li Fang was no joke. He beat me. Yeah, he beat me anywhere from 70 to 100 times. But I was refusing to take that L because I wanted the true ending. And I kept on changing my variants, which is another thing that you learn in the game. Anyway, I will definitely I'll go back through it. I'm gonna restream that again. So going through my second playthrough. So people please watch if you're interested. Um, Really cool game. It's just a really good game. Really, really, really fun game. All right, so let me get on out of here. Like, I got one more topic I want to talk about, and that is talking about Ubisoft's comeback. I think people need to really start understanding that Ubisoft is not dead. Ubisoft, I think, is about to have a huge resurgence. And I don't know if, I'm saying, like, if some people might not believe me on this one, but trust me, I think that Ubisoft kind of knows. I think they made the right decision on and like I've said, tell these developers, take your time. Stop listening to these publishers so much on wanting to rush something out and then kill something. Like, for instance, Star Wars. The Star Wars game is great. But I even had to stop playing it because it was so broken at first, right? So I'm like, okay, chill. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'll come back to it. But there was so much potential there. So I'm just like, but they got to get the game ironed out. The way that the climate is in social media and stuff like that, where there's these weird ass people that's talking about certain games. They really want certain games like Assassin's Creed Shadow and Avowed and Grand Theft Auto, and then I think they're now after they're after The Witcher, and now they're after the other game that with the vampire game, and there's this selection of people that wants these type of games to fail. So I think that would make a lot of sense and very smart to take your time, develop, get it as perfect as you possibly can. No game that's going to be that big. That game's going to be huge, right? No game that big is going to be perfect. But if it's good enough to where you get through and it moves and it plays well, it's a win, because there's no question. Every Assassin. Now, again, I hated the very first Assassin's Creed game, and that's what made me stay away from the Assassin's Creed games. Until I played Syndicate. And then I was like, oh, okay, this is different. And then when they came with Bayek, and then when they came with the 3D kind of Witcher-esque type of that's one of the reasons why I enjoy the bigger open world versions of Assassin's Creed. I fell in love, and then I went back, and Unity was fantastic. But Unity was a complete failure. It was so broken. Play Unity now. Play Unity now. I played Unity on my Xbox Series X, and man, I had such a good time. That I beat all the DLC, all that. So good, so good. And so I'm like, okay, I'm finna go back. I'm finna start playing more. And now I have not played. I started Black Flag. I haven't beat Black Flag, and I started 3. And so I'm finna get to the Ezio, because everybody talks about how great Ezio was. I hated the first one, so I probably will never ever play the first one unless they do a remake of that. But a remake of that, right? But I will go back and I'll play the second one and I'll play the third one, and then I'll go through and I'll beat them all, right? So hold on, let me tell my homeboy I'm streaming. Hold on, brother, I'm streaming. Get on out of here. I'll call you later. No, I'm streaming. Me. They can hear you. What are you talking about? Bye. Shit. He's still trying to tell me something. He's like, well, don't love them. Anyway, I'll call him back. Anyway, so yeah, but I'm really excited about Shadows. But other than that, it's more than that. So let me go ahead and read some of this stuff right here from this. This is a leak. It says with Tencent Holdings, Ltd, the entertainment, the Ubisoft Entertainment founding, the Guillemot's family are in the games they're creating or whatever. Let's go through some of the games that they're talking about. Let's see next. Go. So anyway, Splinter Cell remake. That's supposed to be a thing. I know that there was a rumor about that or whatever. They're going to be making that was another thing too. It's a remake of Assassin's Creed, but I think Black Flag. But they're going to work on more older Assassin's Creed. So I would hope that they would go back to the very first one. If they would go back to the very first one, I'd play it, because I know because what they said that they're going to redefine it. Black Flag kind of change the way that it played and things of that nature, make it more modern. So if it plays like Assassin's Creed, this last Assassin's Creed that came out this year, I'm sorry, in 2024, then I'm all for it because it played fantastic. I'm not all into the stealth like that all the time. I mean, you can still, you don't have to be stealthy, but it is kind of more made for the stealthy. But it played fantastic. So I would go back and I'll play the original one. He said alter the man. Let's see. I saw the list. The list. You got that list, and I must have accidentally erased it. I was doing something. Okay, here we go. I think I found it. All right, so they're saying that oh, that's talking about the Assassin's Creed though. That's going to be coming out this year, the Black Flag remake. That would be good. I think that would be really, really good. My question is, should I wait for the remake since the remake is supposed to be coming out, the Black Flag remake is supposed to be coming out this year, or should I just go ahead and play the original Black Flag so I can get the feel of why so many people love that game? So anyway, there's going to be more Assassin's Creed games. They're talking about bringing Prince of Persia, Santa Time remake. That would be big because I think now that's where I think Ubisoft will win. I think the stuff like you can't go wrong with the Assassin's Creed games. You just can't, especially if you give the mix because they also bring up the list of all the other projects that we all heard and known about with that they're doing with. There's going to be like kind of like a horror Assassin's Creed. There's going to be more of a methodical thriller, something type of Assassin's Creed. Plus, they got Shadows. They're going to do the remakes of those. Then, if you bring Splinter Cell remake, and then you got Prince of Persia, and then if you bring back, if you, and I think they did a really good job with Motorstorm. I mean, Motorfest or whatever, with the crew. I think that would that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. And I think that also, like if they brought back the one game, ah, what was oh my goodness. It was with the chick that it was kind of a funny game, but it was really, really cool. I forget the name of it, help me chat. But I thought that was a really, really cool. So yeah, no, and I'm in Mirage, thank you. If they do the remake like Mirage, for the first game, I'm with it. Or if they do the remake of Black Flag like Mirage of how good it played, how well it played, I'm all for that too as well. Um, yeah, no, I just think it would be really, really positive. But I think that with Ubisoft is kind of go back to the roots. But if they come back and if they bring back another game like like a part two, oh yeah, they also Good and Evil 2. They said the production for that is really good now. So they're not in development hell now. They think that everything is flowing good for that. I know a lot of people are excited about that. I never played the first one, so I got it. I just never gone back to play it. So it's just one of those games that's in the backlog that it's always there. So let's see what Farley said. He says, have to say, multicultural place. I live in London, Jamaica culture. The people and the food played a big part in my life growing up. No doubt, no doubt. Like I'm saying, like it's too much diverse stuff going on in our lives today to be worried about trying to have things be just one particular thing. Like I mean, I've said it a million times. I love the Descent, the first Descent. I love the character models. They look great. Yes, they're hot. But I also love how Laura Croft has been remade. Like she don't have to be thick, and especially going through the stuff that she has to. I like the way Aloy looks. I mean, I think the way Aloy. I mean, listen, you if you're in these type of environments and these weird situations, you know what I'm saying? You can't be having these women ain't gonna be having no clean drawers and smelling good and makeup, bro. Things is critical. It's sticky. You ain't gonna be looking good going through all that stuff. So it blows my mind. Like there's plenty of room for games like Lollipop, Chainsaw Lollipop. You know what I'm saying? There's plenty of games. There's plenty of room for games like that. There's plenty of games for the First Descent. I see people getting all you know what I'm saying freakazoidish over the character models in Marvel Rivals. Great. Listen, I like a great ass shot just like any other man that likes a woman's figure. I get it, but I mean at some point it is not all about what I'm playing the game for. Like some games, like you playing DOA, yeah, okay, dribble physics for the win. If I'm playing something else, like if I'm playing, let's say, Virtual Fighter, and there's none, I'm cool with that too. So it's just like there's so much. There's diversity in gaming is so important because not everybody is all for one particular thing. So again, when I'm looking at a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm looking at the diverse act. I'm looking at the diversity into the game, not only just because of the color of people's skin on that, which I'm very much for that I get to see more of that stuff. But the balances of the characters. Like, am I going to like Yasuke more than I'm going to like Naomi? Man, I think I might like Naomi more because of her ability. She's a ninja. I think you know what I'm saying. But I don't know. I can't wait though. I'm looking forward to it. And when just looking at a game like a Val, like what kind of character am I going to make? Am I, am I a wizard or a warrior or whatever? It was just no different than Dragon Age Veilguard. I'm going to go back to play that game as a mage because I played as a warrior and had a great time. But man, I was looking at some of those mage powers and I'm like, bro, that's slick. So I don't know, man. I just think it's good. And one thing about I've always respected and loved about Ubisoft is the way that they've come and approached gaming with that type of diversity. Like they're so open about the stuff that they do, and I think that it's great for gaming. I really do. Like you can get your which I think like fans of Splinter Cell, they need that back. They need that. Oh, also there was other two. Ghost Recon, they're gonna break another Ghost Recon, and they're gonna make the Division 3. That win, win. That's beyond winning. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's gonna be all right for Ubisoft. If you got these type of games coming back, right? You got the Division 3. That's gonna be fire. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait for that. Ghost Recon. I know that a lot of people didn't like the last Ghost Recon, and they loved Wildlands better. I love the last Recon. I thought it was dope. I mean, I know a lot of people like the older versions, and that's fine if they can bridge the gap of not, of kind of doing something like Wildlands and introducing something like for what they did back in the days. That's a perfect balance. I love it. Or I think with these franchises, I think where Ubisoft can really nail it completely is do what they're doing with Assassin's Creed. Okay, so like we all know that a game like the Division is fine the way it is. Don't the one thing that when they did the kind of like free version of that game wasn't very good. I'm glad that they canned that. It wasn't really good. I like the fact that it was Heartland. Yeah, no, it wasn't. No, I didn't like that survival element. It was kind of corny to me. I'm like, yeah, no, I wasn't feeling that. So I'm glad that they canned that. But the Division 3 is going to be solid. That's going to be fantastic. If you go ahead and you do something like, hold on, let me change this again. I forgot that I didn't loop it. Let's see. Oh yeah, show a little bit of that. Show that. Uh-oh. Let's show a little bit of that. Let's show a little bit of that Halo. Yeah, no, and if they do a little bit of that, if they do that, kind of split that off, you go Division is going to be fine, right? But if they do it like Ghost Recon, like they're doing with Assassin's Creed, that'd be fantastic. Like you could give the old style, the old school method of what people liked with Ghost Recon, but still also have that open world that because the Wildlands sold fantastic. The other one didn't, and I don't know why. I think because the game was broken, and I think that was kind of in that turning point where games were broken and they were expensive and it came out at the wrong time or whatever. But I still like those open world Ghost Recons. But then you bring Prince of Persia, which you got Prince of Persia, bring that back. You got Assassin's Creed, You could do. I think that they can still keep the element of what they're doing with the crew, Motorfest. Just add on to that, and then you're gonna bring. And then you got your other little games that's out there that's Ubisoft games, the whole thing with the rabbits and Mario and Rayman and all that. I never ever thought when people were saying that Ubisoft was cooked, I never looked at that situation as saying that they were cooked. I never really saw it because for me it was more the thing of like, hold on, how's it cooked? You know what I'm saying? They have too many great IPs. They just need to go back into the bag and bring back what people enjoyed. And listen, the Assassin's Creed open world sells better than all the rest of the regular versions, but the older style versions. But I want gamers to still have that version because they're excited about that. And I think that if they can balance that out, I know that's a lot of production, a lot of different stuff to do with the same type of franchises. But I think if you can get that balance, I think it's perfect for them. I really do. So. And then the Good and Evil is going to be coming out. I don't know how good that's going to be or whatever. Like I said, I never really played the first one. I think I played it a little bit, but I never beat or anything. So I don't know really too much about that game. So I see a lot of positive stuff happening with it. I really do. I really do. So, what's going on with your Cyber Gunner? Hey, Ram Nation, baby. What's happening? What's happening, Ram Nation? I know that you got your Ram gear on for us going against them Eagles Sunday, right? Anyway, if anybody, Gunner is a 49er fan, and as a Ram fan, it brings me much joy and glee to see us getting to the second round. Now, I think this is where it ends. I think the Eagles are just maybe a little bit too potent. Do we got a chance? Absolutely. If we can get there and stop that run, and listen, I know that Jalen is dangerous at times. And with their receivers out there with the Eagles. But I just think that, if we stop that run, we stop Saquon. We got a chance. But if we can't stop Saquon, we cooked. It might be a long watch. So, and then at that point, the only thing I can do is hope for my Thunder to sit there and make more noise going into the NBA playoffs. But anyway, other than that, I just wanted to touch base with you. Kick back, I'm back. I hope you guys enjoy what I'm doing, and I hope you guys stick around for sure. I'll be back here tomorrow around the same time. I want to make it around 2:30, but if not, it's going to be between 2:30, 3:30 when I do these through the week. I usually will be taking Thursday off because I'm going to be streaming fight night on Thursdays. But since I missed yesterday, I'm going to do it tonight. I'm going to do my thoughts tomorrow after I come back from my doctor's appointment, and so then we'll get ready. So get ready for that, and then we'll have another one Friday around the same time. Yep. So and then, like I said, I'll put that schedule up, and then of course, then we'll get to that streaming tomorrow night, and then Fight Night Sunday will finally be back this Sunday night. I was planning on doing it, and I fell asleep like an old man because I ain't did no content creating so long. I got tired. So anyway, I appreciate you guys coming through and checking out, man. It's good to be at ease again. So ready to sit there and talk these games with you guys and have fun, talk a little trash with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's always great. So everybody have a good one. I will see you tomorrow. Hopefully you will come and check me out. We'll have some more stuff to discuss and talk about on my thoughts. And again, Sir X-Man, others out there, if you're interested in wanting to hop on with me, man, just hit me up. This is an open platform to that sense to where, it's not only just my thoughts, but it's all our thoughts. And so if you want to come in and have a discussion with me, that's what this is about. I wanted to make this platform an open place for where even if a PlayStation person wanted to come in or somebody else, this is the place to do it at. So that's it. So I'll see you guys tomorrow around the same time, and I guess hope you guys have a good one. Peace.